Economics is a social science. The term economics owes its origin to the Greek word oikonomia meaning household. The ancient Greeks applied this to the management of a city-state, which they called polis. Thus, political economy came into existence. Economics deals with the production, allocation, and use of goods and services. It is important to study how resources can best be distributed to meet the needs of the greatest number of people. Economics contribute to acknowledge the reality of scarcity and then figure out how to organize society in a way which produces the most efficient use of resources. Definitions of economics. Adam Smith, the father of modern economics, in his book entitled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, published in 1776, defined economics as a study of wealth. According to him, the subject matter of economics is the study of how wealth is produced and consumed. Smith's definition is known as wealth definition. Shortfall of definition. It gave more importance to wealth than to man for whose use wealth is produced. Marshall's definition. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, the well-known English economist, economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It is on the one side, the study of wealth, and on the other, and more important side, a part of the study of man. Wealth here means any commodity, which gives man satisfaction, or utility or welfare. Wealth is the means to welfare. The ultimate purpose or objective of economics is to promote well-being or welfare. He viewed economics as a science of human welfare. Hence his definition is known as welfare definition. Robbins' definition. According to Lionel Robbins, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. This definition presents economics as a study of means and ends. The means or resources are less in relation to their demand. How men use the scarce resources to fulfill their desires is the subject matter of economics. Robbins' definition is known as scarcity definition. The definition of Robbins can be analyzed as follows. Man has unlimited wants, ends refer to wants. Human beings have wants, which are unlimited. Man experiences all types of wants such as food, clothing, shelter, education, entertainment, etc. There is no limit to man's wants. The means to satisfy the wants are limited. If man has unlimited resources or means to satisfy them, there is no economic problem. But it is not so. The resources are scarce in relation to demand. There may be huge stocks of a commodity like wheat or coal in the world, yet it is considered scarce because the demand is even greater than the supply. Resources are not only limited but also have alternative uses. If a commodity could be put only to one use, no economic problem would arise in its use. In actual life, however, we find that a commodity can be put to several alternative uses. A piece of land can be put under paddy, sugarcane or wheat cultivation. Thus, the resources available to a person or to the community are not only limited but are capable of alternative uses. Man has to make a choice. Man has to make use of his limited resources to satisfy his unlimited wants. He cannot satisfy all his wants with the limited resources. These limited resources can be put to alternative uses. So, every man has to decide which wants he will satisfy now and which he would postpone. Thus, economics is also called a science of choice. Adam Smith is considered to be the founder of the field of microeconomics. Microeconomics is a branch of economics that studies how households and firms make decisions to allocate limited resources. Microeconomics is primarily focused on the actions of individual agents, such as firms and consumers, and how their behavior determines prices and quantities in specific markets. Microeconomics examines how these decisions and behaviors affect the supply and demand for goods and services, which determines prices, and how prices, in turn, determine the supply and demand for goods and services. The other major branch of economics is macroeconomics, is concerned with the overall performance of the economy. Macroeconomics did not exist in its modern form until 1936, when John Maynard Keynes published his revolutionary book titled General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money. Macroeconomics is a branch of economics that deals with the performance, structure, and behavior of a national or regional economy as a whole. It is the study of the behavior and decision-making of entire economies. Macroeconomics examines a wide variety of areas, such as how total investment and consumption are determined, how central banks manage money and interest rates, what causes international financial crisis, and why some nations grow rapidly while others stagnate. Macroeconomists study aggregated indicators such as GDP, unemployment rates, and price indices to understand how the whole economy functions. Macroeconomists develop models that explain the relationship among such factors as national income, output, consumption, unemployment, inflation, savings, investment, international trade, and international finance. Types of economies. Every society must have a way of determining what commodities are produced, how these goods are made, and for whom they are produced. Indeed, these three fundamental questions of an economic organization, what, how, and for whom, are as crucial today as they were at the dawn of human civilization. Let us look more closely at them. What commodities are produced and in what quantities? A society must determine how much of each of the many possible goods and services it will make and when they will be produced. How are goods produced? A society must determine who will do the production, with what resources, and what production techniques they will use. For whom are goods produced? Who gets to eat the fruit of economic activity? Is the distribution of income and wealth fair and equitable? How is the national product divided among different households? Are many people poor and a few rich? Market, command, and mixed economies. Market economy, capitalistic economy. A market economy is one in which individuals and private firms make the major decisions about production and consumption. Firms produce the commodities that yield the highest profits, the what, by the techniques of production that are least costly, the how. The extreme case of a market economy, in which the government does not interface in economic decisions, is called a laissez-faire economy. Practiced in Hong Kong, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, United Kingdom, United States, Ireland, etc. Socialistic economy, command economy. A command economy is one in which the government makes all important decisions about production and distribution. The government owns most of the means of production, land and capital. It also owns and directs the operations of enterprises in most industries. It is the employer of most workers and tells them how to do their jobs, and it decides how the output of the society is to be divided among different goods and services. Practiced in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, etc. Mixed economy. In mixed economy, decisions are made in the marketplace. But the government plays an important role in overseeing the functioning of the market. Government passes laws that regulate economic life, produce goods and services, and control pollution. Most societies, nations today operate as mixed economies. Practiced in United States, the United Kingdom, Sweden, Iceland, India, etc.
Please like the video and share it to your friends. Subscribe the channel for more interesting videos.